Yep. All right. Everybody, once again, Michael Hedrick, Cleveland County EMS. I'm a lieutenant. Today I've got to do a persuasive speech for Western. So something I need to persuade y'all to. Who all in here works full-time for the county? Who works full-time for any other county? Where do you work?
Spartanburg.
Rutherford?
Dallas.
Dallas? Rescue?
Yeah.
Okay. What we're going to be doing today is I'm just going to compare the call volume with some of the surrounding counties compared to what our pay is. The counties that I did was Rutherford, Lincoln, Gaston, and Cleveland. So I'm going to show you, whoever don't work for Cleveland County, why you should start working for Cleveland County once you graduate school. So I've got numbers. All of these numbers are posted on the website, so they're not made up. These are actually numbers you can look up yourself. So I'm just going to give you a couple numbers, so just breaking down to 4 categories. First county we're going to do is Gaston County. And Gaston County's 2017 call volume was, they responded to 48,000 calls. And to service those calls, they had 9 trucks. And their pay for starting paramedics with no degree or anything like that, fresh out of paramedic class, is $16 an hour. And all this is posted on their website. Now, if you break down 48,000 calls divided by 9 trucks, that's going to be an average of 5,333 calls per truck each year. So 5,333 divided by 365 days in the year is going to be 14.6 calls. So just say 14 and a half calls a day. And Gaston County is 12-hour shifts. So that is their call volume. So if you broke it down to basically a 24-hour shift, that would be about 7.5 calls per 12 hours each truck. There's going to be busier trucks and slower trucks in any county, just an average of the overall trucks. So Gaston County works a 3 on 2 off, 2 on 3 off schedule. So the way their pay works is 1 week is 36 hours, next week is 48 hours. So they're going to get paid 80 hours a week with 4 hours of overtime. So 80 hours a week at $16 an hour is $1,280 plus $96 for your overtime. So their every other week rate is $1,376 times 26 paychecks, with their yearly salary at $35,776. So bottom number, $35,776. So for Gaston, your yearly total is $35,776 with an average of 14 and a half calls per day each truck. Next county is Lincoln County. Lincoln County had a call volume of 19,000 calls last year. And for those, they had 8 trucks servicing those calls. 19,000 with 8 trucks. And their hourly starting pay rate is $16.98 per hour. And Lincoln County is another 12-hour county. So at 19,000 divided by 8 trucks, their call volume is $23.75 per truck. Divided by 365. So daily was 6.5 calls a day in their 12 hours. Or I'm sorry, in 24 hours. If you broke that down to 12 hours a day, it'd be about 3.25 to 3.5 calls per 12 hours. Okay? They work the same schedule as Gaston, so their pay rate's the same. 80 hours plus 4 hours overtime. So at 80 hours times $16.98, their weekly total was $13.58.40 plus $101.88 in overtime. And that is a bi-weekly rate at $14.60.28 times 26 paychecks, and that total is $37,967. So you can see the difference in call volume between Lincoln and Gaston, but the pay is within a couple $1,000. Okay. Next county is Rutherford, which borders us, and they are a 24-hour shift like we are. So their yearly call volume was 13,000 And I think Rutherford has a lot of convalescent trucks, but I just did their main 911 trucks, which was 5 trucks, what's listed on their website, servicing 13,000 calls. And their starting pay, they didn't give an hourly wage on their website, they just gave a yearly salary, which was $40,000 a year starting. So at 13,000 calls divided by 5 trucks, that is 2,600 calls per truck. 2,600 divided by 365, that's 7.1 calls a day. And that's for 24-hour shifts. So in 24 hours, they're running 7 calls. And the way their pay works, it broke down, is basically the same as what ours would be. At $40,000 a year, they're going to get paid on the 1st and the 15th, if I'm correct, just like we do. So their bi-weekly rate is going to be $1,666 every paycheck on the 1st and the 15th. So you'll see the totals there. There is $40,000 a year is their total salary. Last but not least is Cleveland County. 2017 call volume was 19,700 calls.
You said 19.
19,700. And we have 9 trucks that service those calls. That gives a total of 2,188 total calls. 2,188 divided by 365 days a year. That comes out to 6 calls a day in 24 hours. So right now we're the lowest in call volume. Okay? The way our pay works, our starting salary is $37,200 divided by 24 is $1,550 is our base rate on the 1st and the 15th. Where we differ from everyone is our overtime rate, especially with Rutherford. So at $37,200 our base rate, we take a total of 2,928 regular hours per year and divide that to get our hourly wage, which is going to be $12.70 per hour. To get our overtime rate, we're going to multiply that by 1.5, and that gives an overtime rate of $19.05. Our overtime for the year, the way we add it up, is 848 hours times 1905, and that gives an overtime rate of $16,154. $16,154 plus our base salary of $37,200, which gives a starting paramedic for Cleveland County a base rate of $53,354. Does everyone see the difference in call volume and pay? So if you don't work here, I suggest once you get out of school, I would probably apply here. You can see the difference. If you have to get up and go to work, why not make the most money? Right? Thank y'all.
Go ahead.